Good evening, good evening, good evening, and good evening, and welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View. It's been a few days. It has been a few days. What have I missed? I wonder what I have missed. Let me just do this. Yes, welcome back to the channel. Kaiser says, make sure you smash the thumbs up, the like button. Stephen Johnson's in the house, Tam Mack's in the house, all the usual suspects are in the house. Good evening to yous. I'm just catching up with a lot of Celtic stuff, to be fair, and I'll notice that Chris Sutton has been reacting to Chris Boyd. He's been reacting to what Chris Boyd has said about Celtic in this summer. This is it, isn't it? You've got the bigoted brothers back in at Ibrox. You've got a backroom staff of the bigoted brothers FC, and they think that they're going to do it this summer. They're going to do it this summer. Well, I'll tell you one thing, and they can do whatever they want this summer, because Celtic will be champions at the end of May and will be going into the Champions League qualifier, and Celtic will be looking to strengthen. Celtic will be looking to strengthen. So no matter what Chris Sutton says, doesn't worry me. And Chris Sutton discusses the Celtic's importance of the summer transfer window. And Chris Boyd asked Chris Sutton about how important is it the club get the job done early, and highlighted criticism of previous. Chris Boyd criticising Celtic about transfer windows is a bit like, you know what? I mean, look at the state of your own club, mate. You're having to try and get a buyer because the guys who run the club have no money. But we're only here to talk about them tonight. It's important to get the business done early. Well, we all know that, and Brendan Rodgers had spoke about it. Pre-season champions year on, says Kaiser. Yep, and it's good to see you all. It was good to have a couple of days off with the family. Ferguson has no idea he's facing in Europe. It's going to be hilarious. Yeah, exactly. Give me your scores in the doors tonight. Give me your scores, what you predict the scores may be tonight. I think it could be, Baz, Jazz fans seem to think they're going to get millions from the new owners. We've been. I'm not going to talk about them tonight. We'll talk about them tomorrow when they get beat. Again, when the bigoted brothers go down, and I don't even know who they're playing tomorrow night. I'm not that interested, to be honest. But anyway, the North Curve Celtic put out an apology earlier this evening. Apology to supporters. In recent weeks, we have created incidents at matches that have regrettably impacted the experience of other supporters. These incidents may have been made worse by our poor handling of the situations. We would like to take this opportunity to apologise to all fans impacted by our conduct. We acknowledge that our support style isn't for everyone's preference. Going forward, we'll be more mindful and respectful to other supporters. I know the couple of incidents that we're talking about. I didn't mention them on this channel. I saw a video of what happened in Germany, and to be fair, do you know what? It is what it is, and it will be dealt with by the support. So I'm not really going to put much more into it. For some unknown reason, I'll just get back onto the Celtic part. Get onto Celtic, because we'll get the team as it's released by Celtic, as we always do. Do you think Brendan Rodgers will make much changes? I think he's just going to go for a full strength squad tonight, isn't he? I think he will go for a full strength squad against Aberdeen. It's a game that if we win tonight, we're only 6 games away from winning the league again. Yep, winning the league again. Let me just go into advanced bit rate. Two seconds, I'm just trying to double check something. Keep Taylor out, says Paul Baird. Keep Taylor out. What happened in Germany? Pyros? No, it wasn't pyros. I'm not going to talk about it. It's done and dusted. The Green Brigade have made this statement. Do you know what? things happen at away games when people are tanked up on the drink, and that's what it basically is. That's what it basically is. People have far much too much to drink when they are at European away games. Gary D's just told everyone. I know Aberdeen are doing better, but long rubbish run, and don't underestimate them. We need 100% concentration. Celtic man's going for 3-0 Celtic tonight. Hail, hail, the Troops going for 4-0. Sack Barry by Easter. Well, me or Ferguson. Got to be full strength from here on in. From here on in, you mean the next 6 games? The next 6 games. I've had worse fights with my brothers. I say, yeah, Gary, I've had worse fights with my brothers as well. But you know, it is what it is. I'm not even going to talk about it, to be fair, because the Green Brigade is a section of the support that is part of the support at Celtic, and there's a lot of people that sometimes aren't happy with them because of the way that they act. And it's people that have been going to games for a long, long time, and the Green Brigade understand that, and they need to understand that, look, and I think they do realise, look, there is a lot of people that have been following Celtic at European level for a long, long time, and they haven't just started since 2006. And next year will be the 20th year of the Green Brigade. That'll be a big celebration for them. 20 years of the Green Brigade. Who'd have thought that? Who'd have thought that? Let's get it on to a positive note. 20 years of the Green Brigade. You know, you could say what you want about them, but for 20 years, they have made a bit of a difference at Celtic Park, and for the good as well. Too full of myself sometimes. Gary, I think that any small sections of support, going back the years, it used to be certain Celtic supporters clubs didn't like other Celtic supporters clubs, and you know, they would kick off that way. It happens at away games. It happens when people have had too much drink, and let's face it, it's not just Celtic that it happens with. Philip Clement Ultras CSC. Philip Clement CSC Ultras. Thanks for all the Celtic support for backing. It meant the world to me. Nothing to see here in Germany. There wasn't much, nothing. Yeah, Paul, I seen the video. It was nothing. It was 2 or 3 slaps, and that was it. There was nothing. But anyway, let's get talking about the game tonight. Green Brigade are older than the Rangers. They are that. They're older than the Rangers. And there was quite a few interesting things happened when I was away. I see Philip Clement has left the building, which was quite funny. And the bigoted, look what happened when they got banned. We didn't play well. It's been the same over the years. I've sat in the Celtic Supporters Club down in London Road when the Green Brigade have been banned, and years ago, and it's never a good atmosphere. I've went into games when the Green Brigade have been banned, and I tell you one thing, it's just not the same. But it is what it is. Still got my stickers from 2006. I've still got my 10-year Green Brigade thing. That's 10 years, Jesus. Oh well, just after saying, I know his favourite scoreline, Danny's going for 2-0, or even 1-0, but he's going to be put for 7 against the Sheep. I think it's going to be a tighter game tonight. People will start having a go at Celtic because they know, excuse me, I went out for a curry before the live. I should never have done that. I'm all bloated. But anyway, we move on. I think it's going to be 2-0 tonight. I think it'll be 2-0 tonight. Bring back the jungle. The jungle was worse than the Green Brigade, Stevie. The jungle was way worse. 10 times worse than the Green Brigade. 3-1 the boys. 3-1 the boys. I'm going to go a close game, 2-0. And let's see if we get some, just to update this, just to be sure. 5 minutes until the team does come out. 5 minutes till the team comes out. Celtic and Aberdeen predicted 11. James Forrest, Paolo Bernardo, still the only ones out injured. James Forrest has returned to training. He's training, but he's a couple of weeks away yet. So it'll be interesting to see how much game time James Forrest will get between now and the end of the season. That'll be interesting. few Dons players are to miss out. And the friendly against Cork this summer in Ireland. Celtic are returning back to Ireland on the 8th of July. 8th of July, isn't it? I've seen something along the lines of the 8th of July. What kind of curry? Well, I went for a butter chicken. I had a chanchat puri for the starter and then a butter chicken with pilo rice and a chapati. Raven says it's going to be 4-1 Celtic. Maida double. Jota and Adam Ida. A win does me, says Dave Morton. Jungle was great, number 7. You look like you've got colour in your hair, Baz. I'm white. It was freezing. Big Des. Just a pity I didn't get through to Glasgow. But anyway, if it was ever right kind of minded person, I would have booked a flight for tomorrow and tried to get to the game tonight. The Jungle was amazing, says Andrew. William says 3-1 Celtic. Baz, there are not going to be any Huns at Paradise for the derby. Is there not? Well, no, there should be. There should be. Meant to be. Come on, Celtic. Good win tonight, says David Castles. Stevie B is going for 3-0 Celtic. The Jungle Times, it was crazy. Yes, the Jungle Times were crazy. I was in the Jungle the last time I got pulled down against Motherwell. Before I got pulled down against Motherwell. That was a long time ago. Who really cares? Says seen Sevco have put in an order with Timson's for Brown Brogues. Brown Brogues, and it's we've lost the league again. We've lost. That'll be their first song. It's the Bigoted Brothers. The Bigoted Brothers reunion song. We've lost the league again. We're going down, down, down. Whoa, whoa, dum, dum. Celtic go into the Champions League again. Oh, Jesus. No after coin throwing. No seats. 3 more points and move on. Exactly. Richard Murphy's going for 2-0. Maida and Kuhn. What came of the coin throwing then? Nobody knows. There was a rumour on the forum today that they weren't getting any tickets because of the scenes against the young boys. I have no idea. Be a Hunfest tomorrow. It will be. Bought my ticket for the Cup today. Yes, Celtic have put out a thing saying that season ticket holders, where is it? Season ticket holders have until 9 a.m. Monday, March the 3rd, to secure a seat for the Scottish Cup against Hibernian. Well, let's get rid of the room. Oh, fucking Hibs. Jesus. But yeah, it is at Celtic Park, so hopefully Hibs will go for it. But it is a cup game. Celtic will need to go out and make sure that they are at their strongest. They were at their strongest away at Hibs, but it's the away games that always give Brendan Rodgers a little bit of fear with Hibs for some unknown reason. Thank goodness this one is at Celtic Park. Match day, Celtic Park, and you could win £10,000 at halftime this evening if you download the app for the Paradise Windfall. Sponsored by Howden and the new name of Laurie Roslands. Who cares? You can win 10 grand half time. It's £2 for the half time draw. The team will be out in seconds, in absolute seconds. The team is out: Schmeichel, Johnston, Carter, Vickers, Trusty, Sloop makes the start. McGregor, Engels, Hatate, Jota, Kuhn and Dyson Maida through the middle. That is your team for this evening. If you give me 10 seconds, I will get the team up, as well as the no. Get rid of Brendan. And there we go. There's your team on the screen now. Schmeichel, Johnson, Carter, Vickers, Trusty, Sloop, A lot of people will be happy that Sloop is starting tonight. In the midfield is McGregor, Engels and Hatate, Jota, Kuhn and Dyson Maida. On the bench is Sinisalo, Scales, Adam, Ida, Yang, McCowan, Kenny. Wait a minute. Where is he? He's not even on the bench. Young Murray's on the bench, Ralston's on the bench and Bonner is on the bench. Is that the last time that we will see Greg Taylor? Why is Greg Taylor not on the bench? Greg Taylor has been dropped from the team completely. He doesn't even make the bench. Greg Taylor doesn't even... Paul Baird will be absolutely ecstatic about that. And Celtic haven't put the team out on the website as yet. Come on, Celtic, you're a bit slow tonight. Wow, Greg Taylor has not made the bench. Full strength team tonight. Everyone for you, Baz. Yes, Kaiser says yes, bye Taylor. Is that the last time that Greg Taylor will be finished at Celtic? Will we see him again? If he's not signed a new contract, Brendan Rodgers will go to he'll be looking towards the end of the season and say, look, Greg, I'm sorry. I'm only going to play players that are going to be committed to the cause and going to be here next season. You're not going to be here next season. Ta-ta. Taylor won't start for us again. Jeff will get the nod from now on. Which game did Davy Provan get the shirt ripped off his back? I can't remember that. I'm in the middle of a live. I can't even think about that. I'm trying to get Celtic. Celtic have been really slow with getting something else up. Get Greg Taylor to... You bunch of muppets. Get off Greg Taylor's back, you bunch of muppets, says Chill Pal. Well, he's not... Why is he not on the bench tonight? Have I missed something whilst I've been away? It's an interesting one that he hasn't even made the bench. Sinisalo, Scales, Adamida, Yang, McCowan, young Johnny Kenny makes the bench. So you've got two strikers on the bench this evening, which is unusual for Celtic. You've got young Dane Murray, you've got Tony Ralston, and you've got young Bonner also. It does show that the team is a bit threadbare when you look at it like that. It is a little bit threadbare. Let's see what they're saying. The front three is insane. Is that no Taylor? That's the team for me. That is sexual. Come on, you boys in green. No Taylor on the bench. A lot of people are happy about that. It's the strongest 11 we have. Bounce back from Saturday, lads. That's it. That's the team. Paddy Bonner on the bench. Nostalgic. Hopefully we'll get goal line technology tonight. That's the best 11 at the moment. It is the strongest 11 at this moment. It is the strongest. No Taylor at all. I'm not going to show you the picture. Dyson chasing sheep defenders with the ball. Just win, Celtic, please. About time. That lineup is spot on. Taylor not on. A lot of people online seem to be happy about it. Taylor's not on it. That bench is horrendous. As Taylor spat the dummy. Brendan Rodgers will definitely be asked about Greg Taylor, the sexy 11. Taylor out the squad altogether. Oh, no Taylor. That's what we want. There's a lot of negativity about Greg Taylor. And I mean, I've got to say, I have been one that Taylor signed for McCarthy's select in the 10 and 7s. At least I could say that I did say that I thought Greg Taylor would be sold. Greg Taylor would be sold at the last transfer window. I think it's unbelievable that he's been allowed to stay at Celtic and leave for absolutely nothing. Just play Casper up front. Just play Casper and 3 up front. They're as bad as the Huns with Tav, says Chelpel. I can understand why some people, something today says Greg Taylor is pish, holding the club at ransom for a contract he's not worthy. Off, Greg. I don't think he's holding the club at ransom. I'll stick up for Greg Taylor by saying that he's only doing what another Scottish player did the season before. He wasn't going to sign a new contract at Celtic. Celtic are the ones that buggered up. Greg Taylor is still at Celtic because we couldn't sell Greg Taylor. pardon me, at the last transfer window, without having a suitable replacement in. Now, for whatever known reason, Celtic allowed Alex Bailly to leave Celtic and go back to Barcelona. When Barcelona were quite happy with him at Celtic, I think the whole Greg Taylor, the whole Kieran Tierney situation kind of muddled things up for Celtic at the last window. And Greg Taylor is sitting going, well, I'm not going to play second fiddle next season. So, it's up to you to sell me. Celtic couldn't sell him because of the situation with the left back area. It's all Celtic's doing. Greg Taylor, people need to get off Greg Taylor's back. None of this is Greg Taylor's doing. Greg Taylor is only doing what other players have done. And Celtic normally go down the road of they'll sell him in the last 6 months. David Turnbull. We get 3 million for David Turnbull when David Turnbull's only got 6 months left in his contract. Greg Taylor should have been sold for 3 million at the last window. But because of the recruitment team and the board, the PLC, not getting their shit together, they've left Greg Taylor in the position that he's in. Brendan's turned around and said to him, look, we maybe need you until the end of the season. I'd like you to stay, but if you're not going to stay, you're going to be in the team because we're going to need you. It's as simple as that. Anyway, either Jota or Maida to score tonight. Need Teller for the home rule in Europa. In Europe, well, we're out of Europe now, so we don't really need them, do we? We don't need them now. We needed them for that. It was one of the reasons after they allowed another defender to go out on loan, which was unfortunate, but it is what it is. Greg Taylor has respect from managers and fellow players. What do you lot know? Says Chilpel. Exactly, he does. And I can see Chilpel. I could see fans. It's always the same when a player doesn't want to sign a new contract. It doesn't. His name doesn't have to be Greg Taylor. It could be anybody. We've seen this before. Should have kept young Vi and brought Jeff in and sold Taylor. I think Alex Bailly was a bit. I mean, the club are trying to say that he wanted to play more. Alex Bailly was more than chuffed with the games that he had played. Barcelona were more than chuffed the way that his season was going. And I think the only turning point was when Fabregas comes in and said, look, if you want to come here for 6 months and play first team football, I will play you. And I think that's what maybe threw the coin the other way. Philip Clement, CFC Alter, says, hi, Christopher. Taylor, sorry, not a fan and definitely the weakest link. He is the weakest link, but he is the weakest link that has been the weakest link for many seasons. So it's not something new. It's not something new. I'm watching Baz and chat and can't wait for the kick-off tonight. I can't wait for the kick-off either. I've completely mucked up at the weekend. The flight that I got was meant to get in. I'm so glad I didn't get a ticket because I almost had a ticket for Hibs away. But I didn't land. The flight got delayed and then I didn't land until half-time. And then there was an issue with car hire and shit and just, oh man, it was a nightmare. Magnus says, we'll just have to wait and see. He's not there tonight. Why he's not there tonight? From Brendan. Chilpel says, I hope we can hold on to Sloop. Him and Kieran Tierney will be brilliant. I suspect Brendan knows this and is developing a relationship with Jota right now. It's not even that. I think Sloop's the type of player. Is he going to be willing to take such a massive pay cut? And will he be prepared to ultimately sit on the bench when Kieran Tierney's here? Because Kieran Tierney will want to play as much as a part of the season as he can. Can Brendan Rodgers move him into another position? Listen, the summer's going to take care of itself. I think we're all predicting everything that we're predicting may happen in the summer can be thrown up in the air when bids come in for Nico Kuhn, Dice Maida and Rio Hatati. Let's be honest here. We can all say what we want to happen in the summer, but we said that last summer. We said it the summer before. We wanted to build the summer before. We sold Jota. We wanted to build last summer. We sold Matt O'Reilly. We want to build this summer. And don't be surprised if we sell one of our big stars. It's just the way that Celtic is. It's kick-off at 7:45. No, it's 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock kick-off. It is at 8 o'clock. Celtic are back at Paradise this evening where they take on Aberdeen in the Scottish Premiership action. Kick-off at 8 p.m. The Hooks will be determined to get back to winning ways after their 2-1 defeat at Easter Road on Saturday, which came on the back of a heroic performance against Bayern Munich in Germany last Tuesday. Brendan Rodgers has made 3 changes to the starting 11 from the team that he started against Aberdeen on Saturday. Jeffrey Schlupp, Rio Hatate will start tonight's match, replacing Greg Taylor and Luke McCowan. Jota will start on the wing for Celtic, Adam Ida starting on the bench, while Alistair Johnson set to make his 100th appearance for Celtic this evening. Big up Alistair Johnston, who's only 100 appearances behind Greg Taylor. That's an interesting one. Greg Taylor's been here way longer than Alistair Johnson, and he's only 100 games behind Greg Taylor. And then it goes on to say the team: Sloop, Trusty, Carter-Vickers, Johnson, Engels, Hatate, McGregor, Kuhn, Jota, Dyson-Myra, Sinisalo, Scales, Adam, Ida, Yang, McCowan, Kenny, Murray, Ralston and Bonner are all on the bench tonight. It's interesting that he's hit the 100 mark. Big Des says, Baz, can you mention new subscriber Drew Hindy? There we go, I've just mentioned Drew, one of the biggest Tims there is. Ted Trainer says, 30 plus grand a week, why would you not play Schlupp? He's on, well, the fact is he's on 60 grand a week, and Celtic are paying 30 grand of that, which is a surprise, considering Greg Taylor's only looking for 25, but it is what it is. Alistair Johnson's a sportsman, top athlete is that. He's got to want trophies. Anyone bloody 3am kickoff, another bloody 3am kickoff for Richard. 3 o'clock kickoff. Did Barry the Ned get into a fight at Clyde? I have no idea. Paul Baird says Taylor getting 10 games for Celtic. It was 10 games too many. Alistair Johnson is the equivocal world class. Changed my mind. He's unequivocally world class. Of course he's world class. I think we're lucky. And it wouldn't, when you look at Juranovic, and Juranovic had a good World Cup, and then he moved on to play at Hertha Berlin, which I thought was a step down, really. I thought he could have got to a higher level. I think if anyone comes in for Alistair Johnston, it will be a top Champions League team. It'll be a team that's in the Champions League every year. We don't want it to happen, obviously, for obvious reasons, but I think it would be. Is anybody worried about our away form? Dundee draw, Dundee United draw, Rangers draw, defeats the Bayern, last 10 home. Probably get us over the line. Stephen, I'm not worried about it, because if you look at the away form at the beginning of the season, and if you look at the goals, also, let me get Google. When you look at the table for Celtic, it doesn't give you the home and away on that. If I go on to I need to go onto that SPFL site to get the why is the SPFL table so shit? The website there it is. SPFL table. Right, when you look at the away goals for, now people are criticising the away form. Away from home, Celtic have scored 34 goals all season. We've played 10 games away that we've won. We've lost 2 and drawn 2. We've won another 10. We've had 34 goals for and only 12 goals against. I don't see where people are getting frightened about the away form. Definitely not getting frightened about the away form. It's 34 goals for and 12 against all season. We've won 10 away from home. We've drawn 2 and we've lost 2. For me, that's not bad. That's not bad. It's a sign of champions. It's a sign of champions when you only lose. I mean, the sign of Celtic on a good year are only losing 2 or 3 games a season. When you're champions, if you start losing more than 3 games, if you start drawing more than 4 games, that's when you know that you're not finishing top of the table. And Celtic are in a fantastic position. At home, we've won 12 games, we've drawn 1, we've lost nothing. We've scored 43 goals at home and only 2 against. So you're going to say it's going to be a bit of a goal fest against Aberdeen tonight. Away from home, we've scored 34 and only 12 against. So I don't really see where the worry is about the away form. Baz had to start a new Twitter. Did you? Why? What's that, man? Tell me why. What happened? Great result in Atalanta and Bayern. Yeah, it was. It was. It was a fantastic result against Atalanta. And to get a draw against Bayern Munich, come on. That's not a bad result. You're talking about getting a draw against a team that won the Europa Championship. They won the Europa League last year. At the beginning of the season, I said that we would be lucky to get a draw at that game. And we got a draw. That was one of the results I shouted out. I said we would get beat in Dortmund, and if we were really lucky, we would get a draw in Atalanta in Italy. And we did. So I don't see it. Who scores first? Baz. Just going to put my bet on, says Anton Rogan's left foot. Who scores first tonight? I would go with... You're going to go with Dice Maida all day long, aren't you? Dice Maida. But then again, McGregor from outside the box. I would just put a bet on each player to score first. I'd put £5 on, right? £1 on each, because I don't bet. I would put £1 on Maida to score first, £1 on Kuhn to score first, £1 on Jota to score first, £1 on Arne Engels to score first, and £1 on Callum McGregor to score first. You're bound to get a return for that, surely. I'm not a betting man. I went to the shop yesterday and I bought a lottery ticket, 2 lottery tickets. And my brother came back to me about an hour later and said, "You've won on that, by the way." And I was like, no idea. He said, "You've won £6." I'm like, hey, big spender. So I left it with him. So kind, so kind. Anyway, where are we? Yeah, the team's out, isn't it? Let's jump back into the comments. Let's get we showed good this season. It was brutal with big boys in Europe and then having to step back. Yeah, we're desperately unlucky not to see off Munich and out of the Champions League. Exactly. Well, we're 30 seconds. I mean, how can you say that's a bad result? 30 seconds away from beating the top team in Germany. 30 seconds away from beating them. Well, in the 90 minutes. Obviously, it would have went to extra time. Should have spent that £6 on shares in Sevco, Baz. Nope, because Rangers have actually been converting their own shares. They had a share price, I think it was last year, my brother said, and they converted loans to shares at 25 pence. They've just converted loans to shares just now at 1 pence. So they've devalued the club. But this is all in for the takeover. This is so they can get their takeover. Yeah, I'd been a majority shareholder. Your bets would be a bookie's dream, Baz, said Paul Baird. That's why I don't bet, Paul. 20 pence shares now. 20 pence shares. Bye bye, I'm off to the game. Unlike some of the half-wits haters on here, says my ball. I knew I should have got tomorrow morning flight. Went to the game. with that season ticket that's in there's two season tickets that's in their names. Taylor distractors need to have realisation. He's a top professional, and forget the Jesus Christ. One on a shear sheep. But as they had a shear issue in December, another one last week. It's like confetti equity. Yeah, 30 shares at 20 pence for that, exactly. 18 million shares now at 1 pence a share. Yes, exactly. Taylor's a fud, says Gary D. Put a poll up. Who scores first? Right, okay. It's a bit late for doing a poll. Right, let's get these names up. You can only put 4. You can only put 4 on YouTube. That's the thing. You can only put 4 names. So I'm going to have to go with Arnie Engels first. And then I'll go with Jota. And add option. And then Maida, add option, Kuhn. And let's see what the people that are left. There's still 400 and odd people on the live. I've put Engels instead of Callum McGregor. Maida scores first. Greg Taylor's missus will have a boy or girl. Maybe Greg Taylor's missus went into labour. That's why he's not here. Have we thought of that? Maybe Greg Taylor's missus is having the kid. Imagine getting excited about being a feeder club for Leeds United. Taylor's been a good left for us, but he won't get 25 grand a week sitting on the bench. We can get better in Europe for cheaper. Hopefully Sloop, if he takes a wage cut. Stephen, even if he takes a wage cut, he's still going to want 30 grand a week. That's half of what he's on just now. Do you think that he's going to take a wage cut to 20 grand a week? I'm not too sure. Sloop to score first. Paul McGuire says hit the like button, troops. Big Dad says only 114 likes, which is disappointing because there's been over 1,600 on the live tonight so far. Brown Warrior says they've converted 10 million of debt into equity. Confetti both share issues since December. Clement is now costing them another 7.5 million this year. They're having the girl chill pill. That's what it'll be, Baz. Taylor away for his baby. Yeah, that's what it'll be. His missus has probably went into labour and had the kid, and Celtic will be giving him some time off. So, who scores first tonight? Arnie Engels is on 8%. Jota is on 20%. Dyson Maida is on 48%. And Nico Kuhn is on 23%. Smart Life 69 says Big Des. Must have missed it because Baz keeps on interrupting me. Barry Ferguson's is preggers. Oh, I think I am with the size of my gut tonight after so bloated after that Indian. Because I don't believe it's good enough, says Gary. Philip Clement, CSC Ultras says, I will not say how much I took from them. I'm just going to say I'm loaded. Says Philip Clement in the comments section. Let's see how the news are reacting to the Celtic changes. Starting 11 versus Aberdeen. 3 changes from Hibs' defeat as defenders' absence hints at summer exit. Or it could be the fact his missus is in labour. Just saying, Glasgow World. Teams up. Jimmy Thielen names the Aberdeen side to face Celtic. Confirmed, Dice Maida leads the attack. Sloop and Hatate and Jota return. Rodgers makes 3 changes as Jota returns. John Gill's named as all-time Celtic. Who gives a fuck? Scottish Premier winners, top scorers, everything you need to know. Not interested? Postacoglu? Who gives a shit? Anyway, right, how many votes have we had? We've had 115 votes so far, and it's sitting at who scores first tonight? Arne Engels. I'm going to say Arne Engels penalty, and that shoots the order down. Or will it be Callum McGregor? You could only put 4 options in the... And I wanted 5. You can only put 4 on YouTube. Dies Maida sitting at 50%. Kuhn has just overtaken Jota on 23% for Nico Kuhn, and Jota's on 20% now. He's just dropped down, so Nico Kuhn is just getting a little bit in front of Jota. That's surprising, because it's going to be interesting seeing both those players play together on the same pitch, because Jota's got a lot of catching up to do when it comes to goals this season. Dies Maida's obviously away in front with, I think he's on 20 odd goals and assists this season, and Nico Kuhn's on something like 16 or something. But Jota has goals in him, and he's also got assists. Michelle says folk need to get off Greg Taylor a break. CCV with a 35-yard volley. After the game, Baz, the 49ers... Paddy Burns is off to the game. Take care. I will do. I'll see you after the game this evening. Cool Hoopy. Same patter. Smart Life says, even the 49ers buy 50% of Sevco's shares. That's not an investment into their team. Of course it's not. I'm not worried about anything they do. Paulo's have... It's just for shits and giggles. Would you sign Hadji on a pre-contract and then loan him to Aberdeen? That would be funny. That would be funny, yeah. Good team tonight, but Hatate always has a mistake in him, says James Duffin. Is Hatate the weak link in the midfield? Paulo Bernardo's out injured. Who do you put in the midfield? We've tried Luke McCowan, and I don't think that he's up there with Hatate, is he? He's not the same level as Rio Hatate, really. I mean, Luke McCowan is the only player really in the midfield that's on the bench. It's interesting that he's went with Scales, Murray and Ralston. It'll be interesting Dane Murray gets a run out at some point if we are winning. Good to see Sloop playing tonight, says James Duffin. Brown Warrior says, I see the 49ers man would drag the takeover until the summer. They're hemorrhaging cash. I don't care if it doesn't take place until the summer. That's even better, because it gives them less time to get a team together for pre-season. Are they just going to throw a team together? Chubbo says you can put things differently. Calling a Celtic player as a FUD is disrespectful. What if I called you a FUD? Chilpill, people call me a lot worse than a FUD. I know you're not talking to me, but people call me a lot worse than a FUD on this. That's Celtic fans. Give Jeff a go at left midfield. Interesting, says who really cares. So that means you would drop Hatate to the bench. I'd like to see that. Dan Cassie says Schlupa is class as well. It is that. Jelly and ice cream on reserve. They will get it cheaper the longer it drags in. I mean, what is the ultimate goal of them buying Sevco? I mean, they're not going to invest players. I mean, you don't see big investment really going into Leeds. You can understand why they've bought Leeds, because Leeds have a big support. Leeds actually sold over £32 million worth of merchandise. Can they take over at Sevco land and get Sevco up there with Celtic and Leeds getting people spending 30 million on merchandise? I think the brand is too tainted for that. That buyover is a load of trouble. The Glasgow 2012ers. Leave Jeff at left back. We've just found him. Yeah, I would leave Jeff at left back. I wouldn't push him further forward. He's came in to do a job at left back, so we'll leave him there. Right, we're on 147 votes. 6% said Arne Engels. I think Andy Ingles could surprise you all tonight. Jota is still stuck on 20%, went back down to 20%. That's just changed. The Jota lovers are out in force trying to take over Nico Kuhn. Dais Maida's out front on 52%, Jota's on 21%, Nico Kuhn's on 21%. Who will lose the 1% by YouTube? Who will YouTube steal the 1% off? Has to be Arne Engels. Right, we're at 152 votes. There's been over 1,800 people on the live so far. There's 417 currently on, but there's only 153 votes. Get voting, people. Get voting. Let me see what some more people are saying on the land of the Twitterati. Not many Sevconians commenting tonight on the Celtic. Ida must be wondering what he's done to be dropped, being the striker. Is Adam Ida going to be overly worried about being dropped for Dyson Maida? Consider, I would say that Dyson Maida is the better player and plays as a striker anyway. But yeah, interesting. I see where they're coming from with it. 159 votes. Come on, the votes aren't really going up that fast. I'm going to end up shutting the poll down. It's Jota. Breaking news. Jota has just taken the lead over Nico Kuhn. Who do you think? Tell me in the comments. Who do you think will be the weak link? If everyone's been given in the neck to Greg Taylor, who do you think will be the weak link in the team tonight? There always seems to be a weak link. I mean, there wasn't in Germany. Can everyone get up to the level of performance that we had in Germany just a week ago and at Celtic Park? And how busy will Celtic Park be? Because let's face it, it's a Tuesday night and it's a school night. There's not going to be a lot of people taking their kids from all around the country to watch Celtic on a weekday. It's Aberdeen though. The poll has disappeared. No, the poll's still there. You maybe need to scroll up to the top of the comment section. Ida needs to up his game. Ida was awful last time out, says Polly. Ida was shy at the weekend. I played Jeff at defensive midfield and pushed Kalmak and put Scales into left back. Peter, that's an interesting one that you've done. Has Jeffrey played at defensive mid? Interesting. Mark says, Baz, the position we're in right now compared to them has got to be the time we do 10 in a row. We had 9 in a row. We could have 9 in a row 3 times. We need to get it done this time. Yes, Mark, definitely. The position that they are in, we need to push on. They will come back stronger, and that's why they're looking for investment. Maybe they're looking at the fact like, right, we can take it. We can take this just now, and it'll be the same as the last time. Is that the closer Celtic get to 9 in a row, and ultimately 10 in a row, if Celtic get close to 10 in a row again, they will go in heavily with their investment to try and stop Celtic. And it's going to be interesting, but there's a lot of football to be played before then. And I think that the Celtic fans would you forgo, this is going to sound crazy saying this, but would you forgo another 9 in a row, or even getting to the 10 in a row, to finish in a quarter-final, semi-final in the Champions League? Maybe trying to get into the quarter-finals, semi-finals of the Champions League on an ongoing basis. Would you forgo that? I mean, ultimately you need to win the league to be able to get into the Champions League. So, interesting. You lot would have Jeff and goals for next season, says Chilpel. Thanks very much. I'm so pleased you approve of the great mighty Chilpel. Baz, I thought you was a utility player. You play all over the park except goalkeeper, says Stephen Johnson. No, a utility player, Jeff. Jeff, he tends to play in one or two places, one or two positions. He could play left back, he could play left midfield, and I think he could play sort of in the middle of the park. I wouldn't put that as a poll. No, I'm not putting it any more as a poll. We're at 183. Come on. We only need 15 votes now. 15 votes. When we get to 200, Jota's on the wing and he's going for it. Jota's going for it. Arnie Engels is at 6%. Jota's at 22%. Dyson Maida's way out front in 53%. And Nico Kuhn's dropped down to third position with 18%. James says the 10 in a row is the ultimate prize. It's the ultimate prize. Do you think that the board are sitting thinking about 10 in a row and getting to 10 in a row? Or are they thinking about just trying to improve in Europe and trying to be the best version of us in Europe? Now, ultimately, if you win the league every year, to get to the Champions League, so maybe maybe the goal isn't the 10. Maybe the goal is to continually win the league, and if we get to the 10, that's a fucking fantastic bonus. But it's all about winning the league, because their main strategy going forward and building the business and building the club and the playing staff and everything that goes along with that, we really need to be in the Champions League, and we need to be getting to the last 16, the last 8, because that's where the money comes. That's where the money comes. And if you're thinking to get to the 10 in a row, you would have to be at least getting to the last 16 and qualifying for the last 16. You remember, it's an extra 9 point something million for getting to. I need one vote. There we go. Ending the poll on 200 votes. 200 votes, and who lost the percent? Dyson Maida's on 53%. Jota's on 22%. Nico Kuhn, Maida lost the 2%. They've took, Jesus. Anyway, Maida wins 53%, Jota 22%, Nico Kuhn 18%, and Mike Powers has been a member for 6 months. You see how his name has just came up in lights. Mike Powers. What an amazing, amazing man. Big shout out to Mike Powers. Member for 6 months. See, this is what happens when you stay a member and you just keep on going. You have those goals. I will spread the good word of this channel to the boys in the Boston #1 CAC today. Hopefully get a few more subscribers by tomorrow, Baz. Absolutely, Mike Powers, you are a legend. And I'm so glad that your name has been brought up, highlighted in green. This is what happens when you stay consistently being a member of the channel. Your comments come up highlighted. He's been a member for 6 months. That's made me proud. A big shout out to Mike Powers. That's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. That's what you want. We ain't do both. Why not? Yeah, we could. Pete says 10 and win the Champions League. Lol. Could we get 10 and win the Champions League? The board wants us to be in the new Champions League every year. We can now compete with most teams. I don't think we can compete with most teams, but I think that we need to progress this summer. And I don't want Celtic to go backwards. Some of the Barrowfield money could have brought Dumbarton as a feeder club. Put our youth system into Dumbarton, set up nearby. Des is saying, Mike Powers, welcome to the One Celtic Fans View community. He's been a member for 6 months. That's one of the longest members out there. You always know the longest members because it highlights them. It highlights them. So big shout out to Mike Powers. Big shout out to Mike Powers. More than Mike. Mike, you got a brother called Austin. Hoopy, come on. That's an old joke, that one. But Mike sees the funny side of it. Give Mike the mic. Oh, groovy, baby. Jesus. Go on, Boston you. Win tonight, 3 more points near the title. And that's all that's important, says Paul. It is. And it means that I think we need 6 games now. And I noticed that Celtic and Sky have changed the game against St Mirren to a Sunday because they reckon that I must be a veteran, Mobley. But he's on the membership. He's on the membership. He's a paid member of the channel. That's why his has been highlighted. Yes, you are a legend. You and Davey, a legend. Anyone speak about football or mention your channel because you're up to date with the news? Anyone I speak to at football, I mention your channel because you're up to date with the news. Thank you for that. And you always give that more pelters. Exactly. You've got to. Do you know what? I was talking to my brother about it, and he was talking to guys that he knows, and do you know, there's a lot of channels out there, but there's a lot of channels that all do the same type of thing, and they're all the same format. And I always wanted to make sure that this channel was completely different from everyone else's. How much for the membership? I think it's $4.99 or something. $4.99. Bring on Leeds, the feeder club. In fact, if you go to Baz, you'll have 30,000 subscribers in no time. Well, here's hoping, because we've got 21,000, and there's a lot of bigger channels out there than mine that have been doing this stuff for a bit longer. Baz hates the Sevco more than he loves Celtic. Don't get that. I don't think so. I think I love Celtic more than I hate. I think we all hate Sevco. Barry Ferguson at the helm, Boyd on commentary. Imagine the meltdown's coming. It's going to be class. It's boy for Benny Offa. Exactly. Tomorrow night should be fun. Catch you in the morning after I take my boy to school, says Paul. This is the best Celtic channel. The Huns took 4 player managers on yesterday, and they're all playing tomorrow. I was gifted the membership. We're struggling to replace the card number. Oh, Jesus. I have no idea how that happens. Anyway, what time is it? It's 4. Look at the time. It is 27 minutes past 7. But your channel is the funniest. Exactly, Chill Pill. I just tell it as it is. Do you know what I mean? I don't care. I'm just a fan. I'm not saying that the other channels aren't fans, but you've got to just have a little bit of hilarity. And at the end of the day, this is an entertainment platform. It's not a news channel. Do you know, YouTube isn't a news. It's not a mainstream media news channel. There are YouTubers out there. They're not YouTubers. There are journalists on many clubs that run YouTube channels, and they don't even own the channels. There are people out there that work for media companies that are on YouTube. Big up the likes of Kaiser, who's out there doing it for scratch, doing it for this, just doing it. Bets on Bobag Ferguson getting sent to the stand tomorrow. Who cares? Judge him in 3 months, Bill Bovril. 4-1 tonight, says Alan Stevenson. All you can do is give your opinion and try to entertain. Exactly, Kaiser. That's all it is. It's an entertainment platform, and that's what it is. Apparently, the whole management team tipped for the first training session. Try getting a laugh on the Celtic state of mind. You've got to remember, they're a limited company, Chill Pill. They are a limited company. Just saying. I mean, I love John Paul, whatever it is. I love that fellow Fifer. But they're a limited company. That's all I'm saying. So no, I mean, but as you're just in the channel, it's a community, yes, and that's what it was. That's why it's called the One Celtic Fan's View, because every Celtic fan has a view. You get it on this. Good to see young Murray getting on the bench. Brilliant for a laugh on this channel, and it's also got good Celtic content. Anyway, I'm away to get ready for the game. There's been over 2,000 people on the live this evening. Thank you to every single one. Touched the nerve there, Baz, says Port O'Neill. Nah, not at all. Not at all. Everyone's got to make money. You've got people that are journalists, they get paid to talk about Celtic, and you've got people that run Celtic nights, that run Celtic channels. I just run a Celtic channel and talk about Celtic. See you all at Kaiser's. I like to be Hamish and all. Hamish is good. He's good. Although he did try and slate me live on air once. That worked out well for him, because I was right. Anyway, have a fantastic evening, and I'll be back on after the game tonight. Win, lose or draw, we'll be back on for a full-time results right on the right bang on an hour. Anyway, have a fantastic evening, Celtic fans, wherever you are, all around the world. Come on, you boys and great.